and welcome. My name is Dr. Bhavna Pathak. I am a hematologist-oncologist and the medical director of integrative oncology here at MemorialCare. We bring you this program, Let's Nourish Ourselves, to find different ways to nourish ourselves in our mind, body, and spirit. Today, I'm joined by our delightful registered dietitian, Mandy Trammell.
Hi, I am so grateful to be here. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this project. I'm a registered dietitian. I work out of Saddleback Memorial Medical Center, and we have kind of really put our heads together with our nutrition team here, as well as our registered dietitians at our sister hospitals at Orange Coast and Long Beach, to really try and come up with a project and information that would be valuable for our patients undergoing cancer care. So thank you for having us. We're so excited.
Well, thank you, Mandy. You and your team of dietitians have really spearheaded this project, and really this is a testament to the very organic question I get in my clinic every single day. Doctor, what should I eat? How should I nourish myself? So let's begin, and if you could just share with us, what is the importance of nutrition and weight for our patients with cancer?
Yeah, so overall, what we eat and what we take into our body really gives our body the building blocks that it needs to function. So our focus on nutrition is really a focus on the function of the body, and is it able to perform optimally. Weight can be an indicator of nutrition status, whether we are gaining weight or losing weight. Those can be signs that maybe we're getting too much of something or too little of something. And so that's one of the reasons we focus on weight as part of your cancer care. If you are losing weight or undernourished, that can really be hard on your body. If you're not getting those building blocks from food, then your body has to get those pieces elsewhere. And so it's going to start breaking down your stores of fat, your lean muscle mass. It's going to hit your liver and the stores there and start pulling in order to function. And so what we're really trying to do when we focus on your nutrition throughout your cancer care is avoid that. Avoid undernutrition, avoid compromised muscle mass that can further complicate your treatments.
So what I'm hearing, Mandy, is that weight can be an indicator of your nutritional stores. And if you're getting enough nutrients and building blocks from the outside, your body is at its optimal state.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to that end, what can good nutrition offer us?
So our patients that come into their cancer care or their treatments well nourished, they're able to keep up their energy and strength much better than their counterparts who might be struggling with nutrition. They're able to maintain their weight and their nutrient stores. They're able to tolerate treatments and any potential side effects that come along with treatment much better. They have a lower risk of infection than their undernourished or malnourished counterparts. And they're also able to heal and recover faster.
So very important for especially the medicines and treatments we're giving to ensure that you are not getting infections, you can heal quickly, you're not having delays. So nutrition offers that sort of insurance policy.
Definitely.
Great. So what are the nutrients that are important for our patients to focus on, patients with cancer?
Yeah, so overall, we are looking at calories as kind of our main header. So calories is just a measurement for energy, and there's three main sources of calories that we get from food. That would be carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So these three items provide calories for our body. And what we're really looking at is, number one, how much are we getting? Are we getting enough to meet our needs? What sources are we getting them from? How is that interacting in our body? So we'll kind of take them one by one. The first is carbs. This is our body's main energy source. We find carbohydrates in fruits, vegetables, grains and starches, also dairy products. And so we want to look at what sources we're getting our carbs from. Are we getting them from whole foods, more complex carbohydrates that are going to come along with a whole host of other nutrients and phytochemicals, things that are going to give our body the tools it needs to function well? Or are we getting our carbs more from processed foods or high foods that are higher in sugar. So we're kind of going to look at that balance and where we're getting them. The other thing with carbohydrates is carbs come with fiber, especially the wholesome carbohydrates. And fibers, you know, what we eat that we don't digest, so it goes all the way through us and it kind of feeds our gut microbiome. So we have this healthy network of healthy bacteria that's really beneficial. When we have a good gut microbiome, we have a stronger immune system. They protect us and produce vitamins and minerals kind of on their own as our body needs it. So we really want to make sure that we're feeding them well with a diet that's high in fiber. The other nutrient that we look at that provides calories is protein. For most of our cancer patients, we're going to notice that they have higher needs, higher protein needs. So we are going to be making sure that with every meal and snack, there's some good source of protein. And that could be animal protein, that could be plant-based protein, it can be a mix of the two, but we want to make sure that we're getting it in. And that's really going to be the most important for maintaining that lean muscle mass and giving you that sustained energy to be able to really thrive throughout your treatments. And then the final one that provides calories is fat. And fat is important. Fats provide a good source of calories. They also provide certain vitamins and minerals, things like antioxidants such as vitamin D and vitamin A, also vitamin E and vitamin K. So we want to make sure we get fat in our diet, and anytime we can lean into more heart-healthy fats, things that have omega-3 fatty acids, we're also going to get the benefit of antioxidants. So making sure that we have those three items in our diet in adequate amounts is ideal. And then the last nutrient doesn't necessarily provide calories, but it's probably the biggest deficiency that I see with cancer patients is hydration and making sure you get adequate water. Sometimes your needs for water go up just because you're a cancer patient. Sometimes it might be related to treatments, things like certain chemotherapies make your need for water increase. So we're going to want to make sure that you stay nice and hydrated throughout your treatments.
Okay, wonderful. So, Mandy, what I'm hearing is that calories are the big thing that we sort of monitor as a whole of, are we getting adequate nutrition? But within calories, there are those three macronutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Plus the extra macronutrient of water. And I completely agree with you that the role of carbohydrates, especially the fiber-rich carbohydrates you were talking about, allow not only your body to be nourished, but also that entire body of trillion bacteria that live alongside us and help protect our bodies, support our immune system. And those are so important. So seeking those sources. Protein, ensuring that you're getting an adequate amount of protein. And I like that you highlighted that it does not only have to be from animal sources. Plant-based sources are also very nutritious, and as long as you're getting that protein to sustain the muscles. And then fats, I like that you highlighted the aspect of fats that allows vitamins, especially fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, and the antioxidants to be absorbed through your diet. And then lastly, the water, the secret macronutrient. I completely agree. When we see patients coming in to our clinics during chemo or after surgery and they're just not feeling well, one of the first things we look at is like, how are they looking? Are they looking dehydrated? Because that can trigger a cycle of nausea, vomiting, just weakness, fatigue. And so really trying to hydrate yourselves, and I know you'll talk about things in the future modules about how to make even water taste better during treatment.
Absolutely.
So to that end, what does the role of nutrition look like depending on the stage of cancer you're in?
Yeah, so before treatment, we're really emphasizing getting a good nutrition base for our patients. So making sure that they have well-balanced meals, that they're getting adequate protein. We really just want them to go into treatment being well nourished, having those stores, because we don't know what side effects they're going to be experiencing. So we want to be prepared. We want to give the body all of those tools it needs to do what we're asking it to do with treatment. So we're really focusing on that. The other end, besides what's on your plate, is what are you prepared for? So you should be focused on stocking up your pantry and fridge, things that you can easily grab and go, things that are nutrient dense, things like, for example, having chicken salad or tuna salad available that you can quickly grab and eat, or cottage cheese and yogurt, or peanut butter, or beef sticks, whatever it might be. Good sources of protein and calories that are easy. So we want to make sure to have lots of those on hand and ready to go for days that you might not feel up to cooking or thinking about what you need to be eating. Also, keep a list of all those really kind people who offer help when they hear about your diagnosis, right? Let them be able to help you grocery shop on those harder days, or prepare meals, or come stock your fridge. Keep a list of those people handy so that when the time comes, if the time comes, you have a quick list to refer to reach out to. And then the last recommendation I would have for pre-treatment is to be familiar with different types of food delivery services. So whether that's grocery delivery services or meal delivery services, have those applications ready and logged in and accessible, so you don't have to try and figure that out when you're not feeling your best.
So for before treatment, I'm hearing you suggest we kind of prepare almost not like for a war or a storm, but really to like nourish yourself, hunker down and nourish yourself. And so I came up with a little acronym. So stock your fridge, basically, stock your phone book with a list of friends, and then stock your phone, because a lot of these, food service apps as well. So
yeah,
okay,
excellent.
Great. And so how about during treatment? What should patients be considering during treatment? What kind of expectations should they have?
So during treatment, we want patients to give themselves a little bit more grace, because again, we really don't know what side effect or what level you might feel. You might have good days, you might have hard days, and so be a little bit more flexible and patient and kind with yourself during treatment. Our nutrition advice shifts a little bit. Our big focus during treatment is to make sure that you're getting your overall calories and protein. And for some patients that might be dealing with nausea, patients that might be dealing with fatigue, patients that have decreased appetite, sometimes that might look like they want to just lean into comfort foods. I had a patient who told me the other day that they wanted milkshakes. That worked for them, that kept their nausea at bay, and I said, that's great. Let's have enough milkshakes to keep you sustained throughout this phase, and then when you're feeling better, maybe later in the day, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, we can focus on other things. It's a lot harder on your body to be malnourished than it is to have some processed foods or have some sugar or eat the same thing day in and day out for a period of time. So we're really focused on calorie-dense foods, trying to make sure every bite counts, and also symptom management. And also during treatment, we want to make sure that our patients know that they have a support team. They should bring their concerns, their struggles to their physicians, to their dietitians, because we have resources and we have strategies. And so really it's about supporting them through this process.
Wonderful. So that's a big weight off their shoulders, because of my patients' shoulders, because sometimes they feel like so much pressure to perform during treatment and at home, with whatever they have in their fridge. And really it's about just getting enough calories, trying to focus on proteins, and giving yourself grace, like you said, that, if your body is telling you, and our bodies are very intelligent, it can tell us it needs nutrients or what foods to select, that it's okay to give yourself grace during this time especially, and there'll be time perhaps in the future, as you're going to highlight, to get back on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me more about after treatment, post-treatment, and what in the realm we call survivorship, what we want everybody to get towards. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's good for patients to focus on kind of this light at the end of the tunnel. Know that anything that they might be struggling with during treatment will probably be eased or go away after they're through that period. As far as when or how those side effects minimize, every patient will be a little bit different, but we will see improvements when you get through treatment. And so on the other end of it, now we can kind of start focusing on, as you're feeling better, getting that nutrition again, focusing on kind of the things we focused on before treatment, rebuilding any stores that we may have depleted, getting those regular meals in, trying to incorporate whole foods, and getting all of the benefits of those really whole food and plant-based foods. And overall, what we really want to encourage patients to get to is to follow a Mediterranean style diet. That diet pattern is widely studied and widely supported as one of the healthiest diets we can follow. It also has a lot of benefits for cancer prevention in the future, and the reason for that is you're getting a lot of these micronutrients, these phytochemicals that come in your whole foods, because that's really what the Mediterranean diet is based on, is half of your plate being these fruits and vegetables, a quarter being these whole grains, some lean protein, healthy fats, beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, all of these things that are just really supportive of overall improving the way your body functions and giving it all those little building blocks it needs to recover, to heal, to thrive. We do, once patients again are feeling better, and on the other end of this, side of this, we want to limit the amount of processed foods that we're having. Not to say that you can't have them or enjoy them on occasion, but we don't want it to be a regular part of our diet. We really want to lean into those more wholesome things that provide more benefit for the body. Another nutrient or food item that we want to limit or avoid is alcohol. In terms of your cancer care and survivorship, there really isn't a safe amount of alcohol that you can drink that's going to lower or not impact your risk for cancer reoccurrence, especially if you've had or have a family history of breast cancer. We really recommend staying away from that. And on that end too, think about the other beverages you're drinking. Are you hydrating with things that are really high in sugar? Things like juices, really sweetened coffee beverages, things like that. We want to try and limit those because those liquid sugars, they get in and they can raise our blood sugar, increase inflammation. So be thoughtful about what you're drinking along with what you're eating. And overall, our message for patients who are done with their treatment is that, you know, small changes make big differences. And overall, we're looking for consistency. It's not about one meal, one day, 1 week, the phase. You know, it's about what are you doing consistently. That really matters and makes really the difference in how nourished you are.
Okay, great. So I think you're giving us a message of hope, Mandy, is that right? That, you know, post-treatment and during the survivorship period, it's a little bit like the season. So like you're going into harvest, and then you go into a little bit of a winter hibernation, just, you know, focusing on the essentials. And then post-treatment, it's a little bit like a spring where you're renewing yourself, you're renewing your commitment, practicing more of a Mediterranean style diet that emphasizes plant-sourced foods, limiting artificial foods, and I can echo that, especially as a breast oncologist, that you know, we know that these foods have an impact on survival, and so just being, you know, developing that consistency, kind of putting one foot in front of another to make these lifestyle choices a habit is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. So with that, I'd love to end our first session, Cancer Nutrition 101, with just a reminder to our patients to nourish ourselves. So Mandy, can you join me in sharing with the audience our little slogan for this module?
Yeah.
Yeah, ready?
Let's nourish ourselves.